Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net and it is Friday the 20th of November. Thanks again for watching. If you do want a detailed forecast for the next 2 or 3 days, then check out Gary's fast forecast at weatherweb.net. Now, Christmas isn't that far away. I know I can't believe it either. And I reckon my books and DVDs make pretty good presents, either as stocking fillers or perhaps somebody to buy for you. You know, when they say to you, what do you want for Christmas? Well, if you haven't got my DVD or my pocket weather forecaster book, then I'd highly recommend them to you. Of course I would. You can go and have a look at samples at weatherweb.net/books.php, or just go to weatherweb.net and look in the top right hand corner of the web page. And we've got plenty of stocks in at the moment, so we can get those dispatched to you the same day. Okay, it's Friday, and that means that it's JMA 30-day day. Yeah, I'll try not to get the word day in this sentence again, but it's JMA month ahead forecast. This is the forecast for week 1. So this is taking us from today, from Friday the 20th, up until next Thursday, so up until the 26th of November. And what it's showing us is ridge out towards the west. There's the trough to the east of the UK, plunging this cold air down into Europe. The ridge building off towards the west, bringing the northerly flow, which is going to be bringing the cold air through us during the course of this weekend. But it's not taking long, actually, for that cold air to once again collapse away, and probably for the stronger westerly jet stream to establish itself during the middle to the latter stages of next week. Probably won't see temperatures recovering to where they were, but it'll go windy and unsettled once again. And I think we've got to look for some of these little small-scale lows spinning up, bringing them some very severe winds. Can you have very severe winds? Goodness me, one of those days today, just can't get the words out. Anyway, as far as temperatures are concerned, these are the anomalies according to the JMA. You notice the blue colours here through the UK and also through Europe. Some cold air affecting much of Europe during the coming week. Temperatures below normal. Very cold air across China and cold too across Canada. Rainfall-wise, predictions are around about normal for the time of year. And I suspect as the jet returns, most of that is during the back end of the week. Now, on to week 2. So this goes from the 27th of November right the way through until the 3rd of December. And this one just confirming really the idea of the strong jet re-establishing itself. Also this ridge across Scandinavia. So what we're going to be seeing is a ridge building here in the Atlantic. It will buckle the jet stream across the Western Atlantic more into a northwesterly. So what it will effectively do is turn the flow more northwesterly in the Atlantic, and that in turn brings cooler air down into the jet, which strengthens the jet even more. So what we're going to be seeing is the jet kind of going through here, bringing those pretty unsettled conditions. But the ridge off towards the east and the ridge in the Atlantic trying to get themselves back in, building in from the south at times, just trying to battle against that trough. But I think what we've got to think of during that period is a week of pretty windy conditions, pretty unsettled conditions as well, and probably generally on the cooler side. Wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see a cold outbreak of air, such as we're going to see this weekend, not lasting for long, but enough to bring some snow showers quite far south across the country. Storms could be what we need to watch out for, though, and I go along with this JMA idea. As far as temperatures are concerned, the overall comes in at near to just below normal. I think that's probably a fair reflection. And rainfall generally around or above normal. Notice here, if you can see it, let me try and just zoom in on that for you, because you'll see that as I zoom in, it's kind of Scotland and Ireland that are in the wetter of conditions. Bit of yellow there trying to show up through the Midlands. So the JMA actually doing quite a good job of the rain shadow caused by the Welsh Mountains and the Pennines, but generally many areas wet. And I think during this week, as I say, I'll back this idea up of the JMA. I think we need to think about the potential for some real severe gales in there. Now on to weeks 3 and 4, running from the 4th of December through until the 17th of December. So we're getting close to the Christmas period here. And again, what this is picking up on is trough up towards the northwest of the UK, higher than normal heights down towards the south. So wanting to try and get a high in here, low pressure up here, strong jet again, and it looks like being Scotland, sort of northwest England into Ireland during this period, seeing the strongest of those winds. And again, can't rule out some severe gales at times. Probably temperatures holding to near normal values across much of the country. Maybe a little bit cooler in Scotland, probably slightly above normal across southern parts of England. But actually, little change showing up in this forecast from that westerly flow. So what we've seen is what you get really, apart from these short-lived cold interludes such as the ones that we're getting this weekend. During that 2-week period, it actually brings temperatures up across the UK, makes them relatively mild. And rainfall the JMA wants to bring in at above normal levels, and given that westerly, that's probably reasonable, although again, it's going to be eastern Scotland, perhaps northeast England, probably parts of the Midlands, in the shadow of the Welsh Mountains, in the shadow of the Pennines, and in the shadow of the Grampians that see slightly drier conditions. So generally the westerly flow predominates, and yeah, as I say, might be a few cold interludes, but really few and far between. Now, this is a CFS forecast for the next 45 days of temperature. And what we're just watching here, here's the temperature dip that we're seeing. There's the temperature rise as the westerlies come back in. You see this kind of upward down motion of the temperature over the next couple of 3 weeks. That's exactly what we've just been talking about, that we'll get these northwesterlies coming in at times, reducing the temperatures, then we go back to the west, temperatures increase. But this is what's interesting, is this fall off in temperature here as we're getting into this middle part of December, and then this cold snap towards the end of the month. Now, I brought this up with you the other day, just talking about this hint coming in consistently from the CFS of cooler weather towards the end of December. It doesn't want it to last for very long. Again, look, it brings up temperatures again after sort of a 5 or 6 day period of cold temperatures. But what this is signalling is the idea of some colder weather, this cold snap during that last half and probably the final third of December. So that's something that we've brought up with private clients and something that we're monitoring. We've also updated our winter forecast recently, and I'll get that online for you very soon once our clients have a chance to kind of inwardly digest it and act on it. But just wanted to show you this one finally. This is the CFS Nino 3.4 region forecast, and you notice here how the current El Nino weakened significantly into the early part of next year, as I have to say was predicted, and then look, going into a La Nina during July of next year. So reversal of conditions, perfectly normal, but I think this is a pattern that we now have to be looking towards. And that certainly has implications for spring and summer next year. But more on that, of course, in subsequent videos. But for now, whatever you're doing, thanks again for watching. Have a great day, keep the sun shining, and bye for now.